This is what I would side text Lane Johnson if he had sent me a message when he was living in hell.
Hello, and thank you for joining the Champion Within podcast, your premier go-to spot for unlocking your winning mindset. Whether you're an athlete looking to elevate your game to the next level, a coach leading the charge, an enthusiastic parent cheering from the sidelines, or an educator molding young minds, the Champion Within podcast episodes are packed with value, sharing the tools and strategies to unlock your potential and rise to new heights. Hosted by mentor, coach, and mindset leader Kate McCauley. Let's sit back and enjoy today's episode while discovering your champion within. And now, here's Kate.
So Lane Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles came out after ankle surgery, dealing with anxiety and depression, and was finally open about it, talking about an anxiety disorder that he was diagnosed with in college, admitting that when he was coming back, all he could think about was this foot, this ankle. And the last thing he wanted to do was admit that he couldn't handle this. There are so many athletes with injuries that are afraid to say the mental toll that it is taking on them. They don't want to tell the coach. They don't want to tell their teammates because they're ashamed. They don't want to let their teammates down. As he said, the last thing I wanted to do was admit this. I was ashamed when people asked, why didn't you say something? We all side text people, right? And on Speedy Sundays, I'm going to tell you what I would side text to people if I was in that situation and I was coaching them as a mental toughness coach. If I was sending a side text, and I'll admit I used to send side texts sometimes when I was in a big faculty meeting, there were certain people that I'd be sending a side text to. If I'm in a group text with people, you know who you are. Sometimes I send out a side text to certain people, right? It is what it is. We all do this. If I'm the mental toughness coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, when Lane Johnson finally told his teammates, the coaches on the Philadelphia Eagles, that when he was in college, he was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. And when people asked, why didn't you say something about this? And you've been living in this hell, as he said, why didn't you say something? And he said, well, I was ashamed. He was quoted saying, the last thing I wanted to do was admit this. He didn't want to let the team down. I would side text him and I would say, Lane, thank you. Thank you for finally speaking up. I'm really proud of you. You just signed the permission slip for every other athlete who is feeling the same exact way. When you're thinking about this ankle injury, you had that ankle surgery, and now all you can think about is your foot and this ankle that's giving you problems. Every other person who is dealing with an injury or having other issues happening and it's causing this performance anxiety, now they feel a little more free to speak up. First, thank you. Then I would say, I want you to go back to your breath work and try a 2-1 breathing technique before you even start talking about this, because I know it's not easy to talk about this. So right now, I'm going to teach all of you this, just like I would be side texting him. 2-1. 2 breaths in through your nose and 1 big exhale out through your mouth. I want you to try that right now. So it's 1, 2 in through your nose and 1 big exhale out through your mouth. I want you to try that technique. If you're an athlete, if you're a coach, try it in the huddle. And remember, it's the rule of thirds. Not everyone is going to buy in right away. Some people are all in because they want to win. They want to get better. Some people are on the fence. They're not so sure about this mental toughness training. And then there's the group of people who you're not going to convince them, not yet anyway. I got to give a shout out to Coach John, who is going to be on the podcast soon, who recently just talked about the rule of thirds. It is genius with mental toughness training and so many other areas of life. But this Speedy Sunday episode is dedicated to Lane Johnson and what I would side text him if I was the mental performance coach for the Philadelphia Eagles when he finally talked about and was open with his anxiety disorder. Have a great rest of your week, and thanks for hanging out with us on The Champion Within.
Thank you for hanging out with Kate today. And whether you're going to coach, teach, cheer from the sidelines, or hitting the field yourself, remember, mindset is everything. Don't forget to follow the show for the latest episodes, as we all need a little extra motivation, humor, and sanity in our busy lives. Now, go and unleash your champion within you, one step at a time. We're always rooting for you.